Hi guys, Andy here from Awesome 3D Prints again with a show-off video this time really. I bought a cheap dual drive extruder from Amazon, and I'll show you the assembly, show you it fitted, and show what the print quality is like afterwards. Just a bit of an upgrade really. It just grabs the filament from both sides rather than just being pushed from one side against a bearing, so it should give you more consistent extrusions, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, if you like my videos guys, give me a thumbs up, tell me what you liked. If you didn't, give me a thumbs down, tell me what you didn't like, and subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can see more. Cheers guys, here's the video. Right then guys, this is my new extruder that's arrived. Quite looking forward to playing with this, to be honest. I haven't bothered opening it. I thought I'd do it on camera so we can both see exactly what happens and what step I go through to get it assembled. I ordered this from Amazon. It is a DIY assembly, it's not pre-assembled or anything like that. Let's suss out all the bits we've got here. Extruder base, extruder handle, spring, not sure why, but there's another spring. It's your stepper gear. That sits in there, and we've got various screws and bits and pieces. Right, now we've got all the parts sort of semi-organised. There and there. I've got a spare stepper motor here. It's actually off my other printer, but I'll use this for test fitting so I can get the thing assembled properly, and then we'll go from there. The first thing to do is to attach the this bit here, the central cog, the central cog, the main feeder to the central shaft. Now, as you're fitting this, you've got a flat part on your stepper motor that the grub screw needs to screw into. Now, you're not going to know the exact height of this, but you can't actually fit this bit first. If you try and fit that bit first and then put this over the top, it actually ends up hitting this when you screwed it in place. So screw this bit on first. It might not be the exactly correct height, but you can adjust that after. So just put it roughly where you think is right. It has to be more towards the top of the shaft on this one than your previous one, because this is quite high. So put it roughly where you think is right, and make sure that you screw the screw onto the flat part of the stepper motor. Once that's tightened in place, put the base on. Screw the base down so it's fixed in place, because you'll need some sort of stability when you're trying to get everything fitted up and lined up correctly. There. And the other one. There. Now, let's have a quick look. This red metal sort of sleeve, if you will, sits in the hole first, then your longest screw, which is this one here, sits inside there, and that will then screw to that bit there. Looking at the thing, I think actually this bit of screw needs to come slightly higher, but we'll do that in a minute. There's a couple of things I want to do first. Now, when we put this spring on, I need to make sure that it stays seated, so there should be a little screw that goes in that top bit. There's a big screw here that goes in the bottom. Where's another bit? There it is. This is for tensioning the extruder, which is nice because you can't do that in the stock Creality and CR10 model in Ender 3s. Ooh, screws, the spring's running away. Screw that in, and then let's have a look what else we've got left. That bit goes on there. So I guess that it would be probably that one. Yes, I would have thought so. Right, this little screw here with a flat top screws into the top of the arm here to keep the screw securely fixed in place. So, at least I'm guessing that's what it does. We'll soon find out. Screw that in there. Then place your arm on top. Now, we'll screw the arm down. Actually, we'll do that now. Screw the arm down as tight as it will go, and that will then still allow the arm to move anyway because it's got that sleeve in there, so that's fine. Now look at your central cog compared to the the actual other one. And if you look, they need to be the same height because they need to pinch for it. Now this one is too low, so this is where you adjust it. If you just slip in your Allen key, back off slightly, and then bring it up. Now if you put pressure on the side of the thing, I think you find it locks in when it's in the right place, he says. I may be mistaken. I still think that's too low, you know. If you eyeball it, you can see where it's supposed to sit. And to me, that looks pretty much about right. So again, tighten your screw, making sure that it hasn't moved on the central shaft because it has to go onto the flat bit. And that's that done. The last final step is to fit this, and obviously screw in this bit, which I've done already. If we just back this screw off so there's nothing poking through at all, sit the yellow spring over the first nut. Oh, crikey, that's a lot of compression. Go, and then you can screw this up, and then you can tension from there. Although, to be honest with you, I think the default amount of tension on it seems pretty strong. Oh, I can see why they've included 2 springs now in case the first one's too tight. I'm not going to tension that at all, I don't think, because I'm pretty sure that's already as tight as it needs to be. And that's it assembled. Pretty straightforward. Now once you've done this and you've got it fitted to your machine, you're going to need to calibrate your E-steps, which we'll do in a minute, and we'll go from there. But that certainly is substantially more robust than the default Creality one that comes on the CR10S. Thanks, Rick. I like that. I might end up swapping this spring out because it does feel a little tight to me, but I'll give it a try and see what happens. I don't want to be I don't want to break anything, but that does feel really tight. I'm going to struggle to sort of move that really. Anyway, we'll try it as it is, and if we don't like it, we'll swap the spring out. Okay, I'll show you it on the printer now. Yep, so that's it fitted to the printer. It went on without any hassle at all. I did have to adjust the height of this again just to make sure it's exactly the same as the central cog. Well, sorry, I actually adjusted the height of the central cog to make sure it's the same as this one, I should say, just so it grips the filament properly. I've already calibrated my E-steps as well. I'll put a link in the description for a video on how to calibrate your E-steps, because I've already done one, which you'll have to do if ever you change any major hardware, or even just on a regular basis to make sure your printer's printing properly. But yeah, so that's it. It's printing like a dream. So I'll do a quick benchy, and then you guys can see what the results are like. Right guys, here is the finished benchy, and you know what, it looked really good. Now I'm not saying all this is down to the extruder because I've been messing about my Cura settings, but this is probably one of the best benchies I've done so far. All the lines are very consistent, you're not seeing any sort of major deviation, which means that the extrusion rate's fairly consistent. Even the text on the back of the boat there is readable, and I always struggle with that. That looks really good. I think it's a bit close to the bottom of the bed because the D hasn't come out properly, but the rest of it looks pretty good. That is a pretty impressive benchy, to be honest. It's done all the archways really well. There's practically no stringing. All the circles are formed really well. Yeah, I'm well chuffed with that. That's definitely worked out really well. So I'm quite pleased with that extruder so far. Hopefully it will stay working well. But yeah, so for what it cost, it was about £12. Definitely a worthwhile upgrade. Yep. Well, if you guys buy one, let me know what happens if you like it, and if you get on well with it, drop a comment. Also, if you like my videos, give me a thumbs up. If you don't like them, give me a thumbs down. Tell me what you didn't like, and yeah, subscribe and tick the bell icon so you get more. Cheers, guys.